All right, the Colonel Bob Sheridan back here with Juan Laporte and Steve Farhood for this next fight. It's a scheduled 4-round battle in the super welterweight division. That's the 154-pound division. Mike Ruiz against Glenn Tapia. Fighters are coming into the ring. Ruiz in first, decked out in red. And he's from Puerto Rico, so the locals will love this. He turned pro in 2005 with 2 losses here in New York. And it's his 22nd pro fight tonight. He went on to win his next 8 fights in a row and 5 by knockout. This is his 8th fight this year. So far he's 5-2. 7 of his fights went the distance, so we'll see how he does. Waiting for Glenn Tapia to make his way in. Mike Ruiz.
He's a big, strong, physically strong guy.
Is he related to the champion Ruiz?
Or the heavyweight champion Ruiz?
John?
I don't believe so.
No, he's not. John doesn't have any relatives up there that are fighting. All right, this is Glenn Tapia. He calls himself Jersey Boy Tapia from Passaic, New Jersey. He's undefeated. He's 11-0. He's got 5 knockouts. He's a boxer with considerable pop. He turned pro in December of 2008 with a second-round TKO over Edward Smith in Atlantic City. And he won 5 of his first pro fights by stoppages. And his last 4 fights have all gone the distance. Here's Lupe Contreras.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is scheduled for 4 rounds in the super welterweight division. And once again being presented to you by Bob Arum's Top Rank Incorporated in association with Tecate Con Carácter and AT&T Rethink Possible. The judges are Frank Lombardi, Carlos Ortiz, and Don Trella. The referee, Eddie Claudio. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He enters the ring wearing red, trimmed in black and white. His official weight, 153½ pounds, with a professional record of 15 victories against 6 losses, and 7 of his victories coming by way of knockout. El hijo de Aguada, Puerto Rico, Mike El Cangri Ruiz. Across the ring in the red corner, wearing silver trimmed in red, white, and blue. He weighed in officially at 153¼ pounds. He enters the ring an undefeated fighter with 11 victories. 5 of those victories coming by way of knockout. Representing Passaic, New Jersey, Glenn Jersey Boy Tapia.
Okay, step over here. Mikey, Glenn, step over here. Let me get in between. All right, gave you your instructions, Mike. Glenn, I expect a good, clean fight, all right? Obey my commands at all times, protect yourself at all times. Touch him up.
Eddie Claudio with the final instructions. 10-point must scoring system, no standing 8 count, no 3 knockdown order. A fighter cannot be saved with the bell in any round, and only the referee can stop the fight. So it's set to go. Mike Ruiz decked out in the red with the black trim, and in the silver trunks with the flags of Puerto Rico on one side and the United States on the left side is Glenn Tapia. Right away, this looks like it's going to be a world beater.
Now, this is a very interesting matchup because Tapia is considered to be a legitimate prospect. Mike Ruiz, he's a veteran New Yorker who always makes for good fights, and that's why he fights so often and is on so many undercards here in the metropolitan area.
Ruiz is 4 inches shorter. Their weight's about the same. Ruiz is also 5 years old, and Tapia is only 21. And Tapia has a 4.5-inch advantage in reach, and it looks like the way he's pounding this guy in round number 1. Tapia is coming off a September win over Marcy Tompkins in South Bend, Indiana. And Ruiz lost in September, 10-round unanimous decision to Martin Wright here in New York. Before that, he won 3 fights in a row, so he can fight. And the fact he wins 10 rounds already and only has to go 4, you might see a little faster pace out of Mike Ruiz in red.
Yeah, it's a difficult adjustment, I think, for these guys because they've both been at least 8, if not 10 rounds. fighting four is a whole different mentality.
Look at that body of Tapia one. This guy came here in shape.
Yeah, Tapia looks well in shape. He looks a little stiff still. That's what I'm trying to figure out. And
Punch out.
I just see that he's got power. He hasn't shown it yet.
Okay?
Both of these guys have a certain amount of power. Ruiz has got 7 knockouts and 15 wins. And Tapia just under 50%. He's got 5 knockouts and 11 wins. So they can box and they can punch. But great shape is Glenn Tapia.
And this shortened length of the fight can change your style too, because if you like to get into a fight, you don't have time to do that in a 4-round fight.
Yeah, these fights, all these fights in the undercard that you're watching streaming now around the world, were all scheduled for 6 or 4, and so far they've dropped them all to 4. So these guys are trained for more than what we're seeing. So what we're seeing is good action in all the fights tonight so far, and this is no exception. These are 2 very good boxers that we're watching. Tapia again in the silver with his back to you with Jersey Boy. Ruiz, as you can see, with Ruiz at the front of his red trunks. Every once in a while, you see Mike Ruiz drop that left hand, and it opens it up for Glenn Tapia to really blast him with the right hand.
Well, if Ruiz is going to get backed up in this fight, he's got problems. It's really important that he try to back Tapia up, because Tapia is the better boxer.
Yeah, and he hasn't been able to do that, Steve. So a really good point. And if he doesn't back him up, I better straighten out what I said when I first looked at that corner. Well, we'll be back with that.
Here we are in front of the box office here in the Madison Square Garden, and as you notice, everything is closed. Why? Because it's all sold out. But it doesn't sold out today. It sold out days and days ago. And you know something else? This night is going to be a record of attendance for a box fight here in the Madison Square Garden. Over 22,000 people is attendance to see Margarito and Cotto capture number 2. And you know something else? The 85% of the people are from Puerto Rico. So Margarito is going to really find a hard time in face to Miguel Cotto that is pretend to be in home. So let's see what else is happening here backstage.
All right, we're set to go round number 2. I better correct something I said. I was looking at the wrong side of the trunks of Tapia, and I realized that it's actually a Dominican flag he has. I don't want the Puerto Ricans to jump all over us when we go outside. That's a Dominican flag, not a Puerto Rican flag in his right leg. So just realized that. I tried to get that in at the end of the first round. I thought Tapia controlled the first round, and I gave it to him.
Agreed.
This is round 2, and it's scheduled for 4 rounds, originally scheduled for 6.
All right, break. No punching.
Tapia again from Passaic, New Jersey.
Keep your head up. Go hold him, Mike. Go hold him.
Obviously a background from the Dominican with that flag.
Keep your head up, yeah.
And Mike Ruiz from Puerto Rico.
Let him go.
And you see Ruiz there, and he's desperate to land something big, and he's overreaching, and then he loses his balance, and then he's on the inside where he doesn't necessarily want to be. But he hasn't landed anything of note from the outside.
And again, the key thing you point out, Steve, is the balance that he's lacking right now. A little bit of blood coming from the nose of Tapia, so the Puerto Rican crowd comes to life here. Chops him on the left side of the jaw of Tapia. Now Tapia gets himself some room and now decides to box with him. Tapia with his back to you. He's looking right in the face now. Ruiz to the right of your screen. Chopping right hand. Ruiz has landed more this round.
Right, bring it up, Mike. Stop. Bring it up, Mike. Okay? How you feel? Ready to go?
See if Tapia starts breathing through the mouth, because he's clearly bleeding through the nose.
Juan, what are they saying down there? They're very vocal in the corner of Ruiz.
Keep moving his head. Hit him in the head.
Now they just put the ears back and let it fly. Ruiz lands another shot, bangs him with the uppercut on the inside. While his hand was tied up, he's getting nailed with shots right now. The legs are starting to go with Tapia. And he finally takes a step back, and you were right, Steve. If he doesn't move him forward, it's a problem, but he is moving forward and moving Glenn Tapia back in this round for the first time. And now back comes Tapia. And down goes Ruiz. Count is up to 3 and 4. I don't think this kid can make it. 5 and 6 and 7 and 8, 9 and 10. He's counted out. A second round knockout for Glenn Tapia after Mike Ruiz had his moments. Wow.
What a turnaround. I mean,
he was just locked in there waiting and to explode like that. He needed to get hit.
Let's hope Ruiz is okay, but for half that round, Mike Ruiz couldn't miss with his right hand. He was landing right hand after right hand, and then all of a sudden Tapia came
caught him with a couple of solid shots.
See, I hope this kid's okay. Buddy McGirt very happy with Glenn Tapia. Long-time pal, Buddy training fighters now, doing a great job. Well, you know, I like that in that, you know, Tapia, who was undefeated, he started, and he really got shaken a couple of times. I thought I saw his legs start to get a little loose in the knees, but he battled right back, and that's, you know, if you're a fighter, you got to be a warrior if you're going to go anyplace, so I like that.
He saw the entrance. He saw when he had to explode, and he just went off.
He seemed bothered there, Tapia, by the fact that he was bleeding from the nose all of a sudden and maybe trying to get his breath right. And here it is. Here's the end of the fight. You see Ruiz basically defenseless here. And when his hands are low like that, well,
it was that hook.
Left hook, yeah.
Yeah,
and
once he felt that left hook, that was...
Before that, there were 5 good right hands, and then the left hook finished it.
And that left hook that Juan Laporte is talking about, that happened with Ruiz's hands down low. It was a clean shot. Last couple of punches didn't even land. Ruiz was out already. Tried to get up, but couldn't.
Well, that's a nice young fighter we have here now. Glenn Tapia.
What are your guys?
I described him as a boxer with pop, and he showed plenty of pop in this one. That's his 6th knockout in 12 fights, so he's up to 50%. Not bad.
Yeah, a lot of good fighters in that weight division now.
And you love to see a young fighter overcome some kind of adversity, show that he's, you know, he can come back when things aren't going so well. And that's exactly what Tapia did tonight.
All right, here's Lupe Contreras standing by. Let's get the official particulars.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Eddie Claudio completes a count of 10 with an official time of 2 minutes, 27 seconds of round number 2. Your winner, by way of knockout, Jersey boy, Glenn Tapia.
So we like what we see with Glenn Tapia. Again, I like to see a guy come back from a little bit of adversity.